Hi everybody, this is Francisco Ruiz and this is week 2 of our beginner's piano class. So last week we saw a little bit of warm up our fingers, also to start reading notes, all of the different intervals and some great videos that we showed from YouTube. Now this week we're going to look at Alfred's Basic Piano Library book, and this is lesson book level 1A, and you'll be able to see it better up there. So this book has a lot of great information. One of them is a very simple one that we sometimes forget, and it's how to sit on the piano. And you know, just to have to how to have a good posture. You gotta lean slightly forward. You have to let your arms hang loosely from your shoulders, so we're not like this, but rather just kind of loosely. And you gotta practice this movement right here. You see how the movement is from my forearm. It's not from my whole arm like this, right? So I'm playing from here, and then you'll see that sometimes you'll have to like put your as you go up and down, your elbow will move almost like in circles. So we'll touch on that a little bit later. But also keep our feet flat on the floor. So make sure that you are in a comfortable chair that you can touch the floor. It helps to have a step, so you can touch so you have, you know, some balance for this. And then you may place a book or stool under your feet if they do not reach the floor. So, of course. Now, some of you may have a grand piano. Some of you may have just a keyboard, and I'll show you in a little bit how my keyboard looks like. It's a MIDI keyboard, which means that it's a keyboard that controls sounds that don't come from this keyboard, but rather they come from a virtual instrument that's on my computer. So we looked at also the fingers, and the fingers have numbers, right? So you can see the numbers right here. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, thumbs are 1s, index fingers are 2s, middle fingers are 3, ring fingers are 4, and then finally el pequeñito, it's number 5. Is if you put your hands like this and then try to only move fingers 2s. See? So your fingers 2s, then you just call the numbers and just start to do this exercise right here. So it's pretty good just to kind of get that symmetry happening, right? One of the things that we talked about is that we want to make sure that we're playing with our hands relaxed. So your fingers should not be played like flat like this, but rather almost like you're holding a ball right here, right? So we talked about that and just making sure that you are following those instructions. So the keyboard. So for this, I'm gonna show you my keyboard here. So the keyboard right here, it has low notes and it has high notes. So in your keyboard, you'll see it from left to right, right? And then all the way up to a high note, right? Another thing to look for is the groups of 3s. See those black notes? Groups of 3s and groups of 2. So you see it's always 3, 2, 3, 2, right? So this is going to be very important for us to recognize that the keyboard is actually only this note to this note. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is it. So the piano is really 12 notes that repeat. So you see, if I find this C, right? This is C, which we talked about being right to the left of the 2 black notes to the left. This is C. So I can find all the C's in my keyboard. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So my keyboard has 6 C's. So in this exercise, we're going to start working with your right hand and our left hand, and we're only going to be playing with our fingers 2 and 3. And the way this is going to work is that we're going to find the group of 2, right? So we see the group of 3, the group of 2 right here. So my group of 2 is going to stay here. We're going to do 2 and 3. And as you can see, my hand is kind of resting. All of the rest of the fingers are kind of resting on the piano. We don't really worry where they are placed. but we're worrying about number 2 and number 3 being on 2 and 3 right here. All right. Cool. And then our left hand would do the exact same thing, you know, just resting the hand 2 and 3. Okay. So the way this exercise works is that we're going to be reading quarter notes. Now, quarter notes is just a count, right? If we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, those are quarter notes. So if we show a short note, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And now with our left hand, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. All right. So as you can see, it's a group of 4 notes, and they're separated by a bar line. And also the last bar is a double bar, and it's used to just denote that it's the end of the exercise, right? Remember to stop and do it as many times as you can and as many times as you want to get a little comfortable with that. And then we're going to move to our next page, and our next page is left and right. So we're going to also introduce, we had quarter notes, right? Quarter notes are count 1. Now we have half notes, and half notes are 2 counts. So if we play a half note, let's say I'm just going to pick this note, and if we play a half note, we count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As opposed to in the quarter note, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Half notes are 2. Half note, 1, 2. So let's follow this exercise now. We are on group of 3s now. So our position is going to move from the group of 2 to the group of 3s. And in the group of 3s, we're going to use 2, 3, and 4. Ready? So put your fingers on your piano or on your paper piano, whatever you're using to practice this. And here we go. We're going to play the left hand finger part. So we go 2, 3, 4, and then that is a half note. So let's see. 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, half note. See? Now I'm going to go to the right hand. 2, 3, half note. 4, 3, half note. All right. So make sure when you are looking at this, it may get confusing to see numbers and see quarter notes and half notes, and I'm counting out loud a different count. So don't worry about the counting. Just make sure that you're feeling those different durations of notes, right? You have quarter notes durating 1, and then half notes durating 2. See, I'm not counting, but I'm counting in my head and I'm feeling those 2. All right. So practice these pages as much as you can. Page 8 and page 9, right and left and right. And then we'll move forward with quarter notes and half notes, and we'll see what's next. All right, we're on page 10 and 11. So we're going to work on page 10 first. And this is where it gets exciting because we're getting to use what we just learned on the previous pages, and we're going to put it in a song. So this song is called Merrily We Roll Along, and this you may recognize. So I'm going to play so this is page 10 and page 11 are kind of the same song, and you'll hear it. So I'm going to play this left hand. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3. Nice. You recognize the song? All right, so the next page, we're going to go to the right fingers. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Two. 1, 2. What? What is this note? Oh, that last note is a whole note. That means it's a very long note, and we count 4 on this one. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So whenever you see that guy right there, it's the round one. It's called a whole note, and you're going to hold it for 4. So now we have quarter notes that are holding for 1 count, half notes that are counting for 2, and then whole notes that are counting for 4. Now it's time to play this page 10 and 11 as a duet. So Merrily We Roll Along or the Deep Blue Sea. We're going to play it as a duet. So I'm going to count it up. We're going to have a metronome, which is this right here. It's going to be on 4. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready. So put your left hand on your black notes. And here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. All right, for page 12 and 13, we're going to see a few different things. So I want you to pay attention to your dynamic signs. So your dynamic signs are going to tell you if you are going to play loud or if you're going to play soft. So the P right there is piano, and the F is forte. So whenever we see that, we play soft when it's piano, and then we play loud when it's forte. Like this. So we're going to put our fingers on groups of 3, right? And here we go. We're going to go 1, 2, ready, play. Right, and then we're gonna go to page 13, changing my hands here. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you may be wondering, what does that mean? The 2 dots there on the last bar right there. What is it? 2 dots mean go back to the beginning and play again. So that means a repetition sign. So if you've seen that one before, that's what it means. It means to repeat. So this page 12 and 13, we played twice. That means we play page 2, we go over to page 13, and then we go back to page 2 and we play it again and page 13. Like this. 1, 2, ready, and. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Oops. 1, 2. We made mistakes, right? And. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. So I hope these lessons were helpful. Just make sure that you are practicing. Remember, just a little recap of what we've seen. We've seen quarter notes, we've seen half notes, we've seen whole notes, and we've seen a little bit of dynamics of how to play soft with piano and loud with forte. And then also whenever we see a double bar line with the little dots at the end of a song, that means that we're gonna go back. We're gonna be repeating. That's a repeating sign. So we either go back to the beginning if there isn't one, or you may see another one at the beginning of a phrase. So you'll play from wherever that beginning phrase is. So let's say, you have a full song, but it's only repeated the last line. It'll give you this and 2 dots, this and 2 dots. All right. And don't forget to practice, have fun, practice as much as you can this pages that we've gone through. Don't forget to have good technique, means just good positioning of your fingers. So, you know, keep yourself tall, nice and tall, with good posture so you don't hurt your back. You know, your head should not be leaning forward like this, but rather like this, right? And make sure that your fingers are curled, they're not flat. There's a tendency to do that flat, especially because we have these black notes right here, and you feel like you have to go like this because they're nice and tall right here. But we want to be playing like this. See the difference? So make sure that you're doing that, and you can use your other fingers to kind of help you out. Look, I'm using my thumb here, and I'm using my pinky here, just to have a little bit of support, and then I can play. See? Don't forget to have fun, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.